This is Lars Olson. I'll be your host for today's Quiet Echo. If you bought it, you should be able to fix it. A farmer came into my store last month. He needed a hydraulic fitting for his tractor. Simple part. I had it on the shelf. $12. He could have installed it in 20 minutes in his barn with a wrench and a rag. He could not use it. The tractor's onboard computer would not let him complete the repair without a dealer-authorized diagnostic tool. He did not own the tool. Could not buy it. Could not borrow one from his neighbor because his neighbor did not have one either. Nobody does. The manufacturer keeps it behind a wall. So here is what happened instead. He loaded the tractor onto a flatbed trailer. He drove 40 miles to the dealership. He waited 3 days. He paid $1,400 for a repair he could have done himself in the time it takes to drink a cup of coffee. Well, the time it takes the rest of you to drink a cup of coffee. I do not drink coffee, as Mildred will remind you. He bought the tractor. He owns the tractor. He made the payments on the tractor. But he does not own the right to fix it. Think about the size of the sentence I just said. A man who owns a machine is not permitted to repair it. For years, major equipment manufacturers have used software locks to force farmers to go through authorized dealerships. They pointed to the Clean Air Act and said federal emissions law required it. The law did not require it. The manufacturers chose the interpretation most favorable to their repair monopoly, and nobody in government corrected them. Until last month, on February 2nd, the EPA issued guidance making clear what the law already said. Farmers and equipment owners have the right to make their own repairs. Temporary overrides of emission systems are allowed for legitimate repair purposes, provided the equipment is returned to compliance afterward. More than 95% of farmers agree they should be able to repair what they own. It took the government decades to catch up to common sense. Now, I sell hardware. Let me tell you what my business is built on. Not fittings, not wire, not wrenches. My business is built on a single belief. A person who owns a thing has the right and the ability to take care of it. Every item on my shelves exists because somebody somewhere decided to fix a problem with their own hands. The faucet drips. The fence sags. The screen door sticks. You come in, you buy the part, you go home and handle it. Independence. Self-reliance. The whole American premise, reduced to a trip to the hardware store. Somewhere in the last 30 years, we started accepting a different idea. The idea was this: you may purchase this product, but you do not fully own it. The software inside belongs to us. The diagnostic tools belong to us. The knowledge required to repair it belongs to us. You own the shell. We own the brain. And when the brain stops working, you come to us, on our schedule, at our price. This started with farm equipment. It did not stay there. Try replacing the battery in some phones. Try fixing a modern dishwasher without the manufacturer's software. Try getting an error code from your car without paying a dealership for the privilege. We have quietly accepted a world where the things we buy come with invisible strings attached, and the strings lead back to the company we bought them from. George fixes cars. He will tell you the same thing from his side of the counter. The diagnostic systems in modern vehicles are increasingly locked behind manufacturer walls. Independent shops, the ones in your town, the ones your neighbor runs, lose a little more ground every year because they cannot access the information they need to do the work they have always done. The EPA guidance is a step, but guidance is not law. It can be reversed by the next administration. The National Farmers Union said it clearly: guidance alone is not enough. A bill called the Farm Act is before Congress. It would require manufacturers to provide documentation, parts, software, and tools to farmers and independent repair shops. I hope it passes. I am not holding my breath. Congress does not move at the speed of a broken tractor in harvest season. To be fair, manufacturers have real concerns. Safety matters. If someone overrides a system designed to prevent injury, the consequences are serious. Emissions compliance matters. Intellectual property matters. I do not dismiss any of it. But the answer to those concerns is not to take away the owner's right to maintain what they paid for. The answer is to provide the tools and information, and to trust the person who feeds this country to use them responsibly. We trusted farmers with combines, grain augers, and anhydrous ammonia. We can trust them with a diagnostic code. Here is what I keep coming back to. Ownership used to mean something simple. You bought it, it was yours, you took care of it. You did not need permission. You did not need a subscription. You did not need to drive 40 miles and wait 3 days and pay 20 times the cost of the part for the privilege of having someone else do what you already knew how to do. The day a person cannot fix what they own is the day ownership stops meaning what it used to. Mildred says, I get worked up about things like this. She is probably right. But I have stood behind this counter for 40 years, watching people walk in, buy the part, and walk out knowing they can handle the problem. I do not want to see the day they walk in, buy the part, and walk out knowing they cannot use it. If you bought it, you should be able to fix it. The law should not need to say so, but apparently it does. This is Lars Olson, your host for today's Quiet Echo. Thanks for listening. Quiet Echo is part of the fictional Cedar Valley news series, written by Evan Swenson, publisher, publication consultants, and Claude Marshall, AI developmental editor. While the people and town are fictional, the national events they reflect on are real.
You've been listening to the Cedar Valley News Podcast, where small-town voices meet the headlines shaping our world. From faith and family to front porches and fields. We'll be back with more stories connecting real lives to real events. Until next time, keep your porch light on, your faith strong, and your heart open.